Does good at rockets too, by the way. I never saw where the engines come down with no wings, no anything, and they're landing. I said, I've never seen that before. And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius. You know, we have to protect Thomas Edison, and we have to protect all of these people that came up with originally the light bulb and the wheel and all of these things. And he's one of our very smart people, and we want to cherish those people. That's very important. But he's done a very good job. Shocking how well, you know, how it's come so fast.
You people have called you the real Tony Stark. Okay, you've got your finger in so many different advanced technologies. As I said, SpaceX, Tesla, now you've got Solar City and the solar pack that people put in their houses. Are you?
I oddly trust him to be a phenomenal, a net positive for the universe.
Oh, 100%.
You know, it's like, yeah, man, why not fucking build a car that you don't need any gasoline for? Why not fucking send shit to the space? Whatever. You know, like, I think he's a net positive force.
No, I'm 100% convinced he's a net positive. Mm-hmm. I think he's a legitimate genius, and I don't think there's a whole lot of them.
After the premiere, someone was like, hey, do you want to meet Elon? And I was like, who's that? And they said, Elon Musk. And I just, if you don't know who Elon Musk is, Elon Musk just sounds like a crappy cologne or something. Like, I didn't know, I had no idea who he was. Mm-hmm. I was like, I guess this is just a fan who wants to meet me. So I went over to him and I was like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Zach. Do you live in San Francisco? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you work in tech? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I said, well, I know it's a competitive industry, so I hope things go well for you.
Wow.
I didn't know he was living, he's like literally colonizing outer space.
Yes. Hilarious.
I have to comment your sense of humor. You have to tell me about Elon Musk and the tweets.
Our love will never die, he said.
I love it. Thank you.
I would listen to these radio talk shows, just tear the Tesla apart, and I go, here's a guy building an American car in America, using American labor, and paying them a union wage, doing the whole bit. Why are you not rooting for it to be successful? Why do you wish it would fail?
You can make it a lottery, and everyone puts in $10 to get a trip into space. And so the first person who does that will make great strides, be it Bezos or Virgin Galactic or Elon Musk. I just know for myself, I'm not going to be the first on any of those voyages until like Elon Musk sends his mother. And then if she comes back alive, then I might buy a ticket.
Well, we will wait to see that. Very quickly, Neil, what do you make of Elon Musk's recent sort of quirky behavior?
Can you smoke pot in space?
Well, you need oxygen that you might prefer to breathe rather than using it to combust the marijuana. Just a trade-off, I'm thinking, you know. But his quirky behavior, you know, I went to college. I went to a really selective college where people were really smart and really weird. And the weirdness became an element of their behavior that I just came to expect with people who had sort of singular abilities to think or to innovate or to project what a future might be. So I think we're giving him yes, he needs to comply with the SEC. He's got a publicly traded company. He's got to obey. Otherwise, there's consequences. Beyond that, you know, let the man be an individual.
Elon's absolutely fixated on going to Mars, and that is almost, I think, it's his life mission, and it's as wonderful as, you know, Kennedy was fixated on the moon, the moon shot.
Elon Musk, a scared man. Really?
You know, it's okay for a CEO to have some stuff to him or her, right? It's okay for them to have an attitude. You don't have to be vanilla all the time. That's his life. I mean, unlike other founders, not even CEOs, but unlike other founders who have their lives all built up into one company, he puts his heart out there and he puts his finances out there. You know, you can respect Elon Musk for his genius, but you have to really respect it because he puts every cent that he has on the line. This is not like, you know what, I got all my money out. Every one of these companies he puts his own cash into, and he's gone to the limit. And so, look, it's his baby. He sees the vision. He has to execute. You can argue that he's going to need to raise cash or this, that, but everything he has is wrapped up in it as far as I understand it. And I think for that reason, I'm not necessarily a buyer because I don't know the industry, but you've got to trust him. And I don't think the stuff on the conference call was anything at all. That was just Michigan.
But I know that you are a great admirer of Elon Musk, the guy behind Tesla and SpaceX. This is a guy. He's probably a genius.
I mean, I truly think that he is, probably the most important entrepreneur on the planet.
And you had an encounter with him. Did you seek him out, or did he seek you out?
God, I wish he seeked me out. No, I seeked him out. I actually just wanted to see if I could get kind of a look behind the velvet curtains of SpaceX. And so I was connected with his assistant, actually. And so she invited me down to SpaceX, and she gave me this whole tour. And then at the end of the tour, she just brought me to Elon's cubicle. And
he has a cubicle?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bigger than the other cubicles, but
like how much? Like it's on the open floor?
Yeah, it's just there's no door.
Oh, so he's not a genius then, for sure. I mean,
no, but his whole theory is if you have something to say, just say it. I don't want a door, to close you off. And
I see. What if he's like shopping for a pair of shoes on Zappos and he doesn't want everyone to?
I think he's okay with it.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's just such a mad genius. I had no idea that I was going to meet with him, so I sat down with him, and he was very engaged in what we were talking about, but you could tell that he was thinking about 1,000 other things at once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. Like, I knew he was listening, but also I knew he was thinking about so many other things.
Huh. Are you sure you didn't just imagine that? He was just really like thinking about lunch or something? Or
maybe.
But what did he say to you, and what did you say to him?
I don't remember. But honestly, after sitting down and talking to him, I realized that I'm now convinced that he's an alien. There's what other answer is there?
He is an alien, right? Where's he from?
I don't know. No, he's from South Africa.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's an alien. He's an alien to our country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would love to talk to Elon Musk. So I'm sure that would be ridiculously fun. I would love to find out. I'd like to ask him about his thought process. And also, I'm really curious about how in the world he manages to do multiple impossible things, because doing one impossible thing is impossible, but doing like 5 impossible things is the product of 5 impossibilities, and that just seems like hyper impossible. But he's managed it. Think about it. Think about what he did. He built an electric car, which is like hard, and then he built a rocket, and then he blasted the car into space on his rocket. Like that. That's not real. That doesn't happen. But it did happen, and he did it. And so I would love to talk to him. I think that would be extremely interesting.
What do you think of Elon Musk's behavior as a CEO?
Well, I think it has room for improvement. And he would say the same thing. It's just some people have a talent for interesting quotes, and others have a little bit more of a blocker up there that says this can get me in a problem. But he's a remarkable guy. But I just don't see the necessity to communicate. I think I've got 7 tweets because a friend of mine signed me up for it, and she's called me about 100 times saying, can I tweet this or that? And I said yes to her 7 times, I guess, or something like that. I've never actually written one myself. I don't even know how to do it.
Have you talked to Elon ever?
He joined the Giving Pledge, so once or twice. That's a lot of years ago. 7 or 8 years ago. He hasn't come to our annual gathering, so I haven't seen him for 7 or 8 years.
When you look at all the pioneers in space today, you think of Jeff Bezos, you think of Richard Branson, Elon Musk. Yes. Who do you think is really leading the way forward?
I think SpaceX, probably because of Elon coming from South Africa, having the competitive spirit to make a good bit of money in PayPal, and then put that into his dreams. Elon would like to get involved in selling launches to the Air Force, but he's being opposed some. He almost went broke. He had 3 failures. One more, in his words, would have taken him out of the business of rocket launches. He sort of succeeded on that one, pretty much.